Windy again. Probably going to get rained on while I'm out walking, but why not? Push these way down my nose so I can look up, see normal, and look down and see comments if anybody shows up. Don't know if anybody will, but figure go live for a little bit. Out walking. So, trying to think. watching free agency start and watching my Detroit Pistons try and. I'm not sure if they're self-destructing or what. All is what it is. You tell Jalen Duren, center for the Pistons, made all NBA team this year, made all-star, young cat. Tell him go out and play your ass off this year, and you'll get paid next year. We'll take care of you. And then offer him a lot less money than he's probably worth. Who's that? What's up, Chevy Man? Booyah, booyah, Chevy Man. But yeah, rainstorms over there too. Jeez, surrounded by rain today. But yeah, just sitting here kind of contemplating, like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking, guys? And he said you're going to take care of the guy. Take care of the guy. But I get it, trying to get him as cheap as you can. So, it's a lot of money you're giving a guy who basically didn't show up for the playoffs. I understand where the team's coming from, but I really, he's a young guy. You gotta take care of him. This is money that's gonna set him up for the rest of his life, quite honestly. So, his whole life and beyond. I mean, his kids won't have to do anything if they don't want to, assuming he has kids somewhere. I think he was dating Angel Reese at some point. I know the fans in, I think it was Orlando, were chanting Angel Reese at him. But yeah, I mean, you could tell he was exhausted and his head wasn't there, and he was getting played completely differently. How's your weather, Chevy Man? You said you're Jacksonville. Jacksonville's normally not quite as wild as the rest of Florida, isn't it? Or is that Tampa I'm thinking of? One of the two. Where it's not quite as wild. But yeah, Pistons, I was a big fan of them signing Isaiah Joe. Really big fan of that. Making that trade. Wasn't a fan of them trading my boy Beef Stew, though. Guy's been kind of the heart and soul of the Pistons defense and their work ethic and everything, but I get it. He also didn't really show up for the playoffs, and he's been injured. I think he got mad at the coaches during the playoffs. I remember him getting pretty heated at JB Bickerstaff. He going out and getting in fights during the regular season, that hurt the team, especially at the end of the year. And at the end of the year when he came back, I mean, you could tell dude just wasn't right. So, but he's a culture changer for the Memphis Grizzlies for sure. So, yeah, it's a lovely night. Not quite sunset yet. So I'm relatively certain we're going to get rained on at some point. We've got 2 pretty good sized storms, or 3, because that one over there where these assholes are illegally shooting fireworks. That's 3 different storms all kind of circling us here. This is kind of where you can get so we got the Tobacco Root Mountains over there. Tobacco Root Mountains, and then you swing over here and you start getting the Bridger Mountains. This time you guys can actually see it. You see right here, this hazy portion, that's a rainstorm. And then we swing around, Bridger Mountain's end, and then we got the highlights. So this is where, if you look right over here, about there, that's where Yellowstone National Park is. We swing around, swing around, swing around. We're still in the highlights. You can kind of see the big mountains back there. That's where Big Sky ski area is. So that's why this area is kind of famous for all that nonsense. I know my blood sugar looks low, but I just ate. We're supposed to get thunderstorms tonight. Oh, that looks like a thunderstorm over there. This one, not so much. That just looks like some regular clouds. So, heavy showers in the evening and early morning. All right. Well, I remember when I lived in the South, when I lived down in Louisiana. I mean, I think it was about 4:30 every day, like no matter what, rain. So, and it was just dump on us for like 10, 15 minutes, and that'd be it. But it was like every single day in the afternoon during the, like June till September in Louisiana. It was just like clockwork. Sometimes you'd get, rainier days, and sometimes you'd get hotter days. But I mean, every day at 4:30, it was going to dump. And that was always when that was generally if I wasn't going out drinking that night, which was it was a rare occasion when I wasn't drinking back then. My Army days. I would usually go for a run. I'd see if any of my buddies wanted to go, but I don't know if they thought I was motivated or something about it all. What's up, church? How you doing, brother man? But yeah, I didn't really. I'd go for a run about 4:30 so that I could get caught in the rain and stay relatively cool. That was my game plan anyway. You see, we got some snow. Can you see it? I need to walk a little further here. Got some snow up on the Bridgers again. We had a couple days where it didn't get above 55, and that means up in the mountains it was cold enough for snow. I know, yeah, you guys wouldn't even. Can you see it? Not really over there. Can't really see the big mountains over there because they got snow on them, so they don't show up well at sunset. So trying to think, I went and saw Supergirl. It was a little disappointing. I don't think it was nearly as bad as I've seen a lot of reviews saying that it is. The script definitely could have used some more work dialogue-wise, but I mean, story-wise, it was fine. The actors did their darndest. Especially Jason Momoa, you could tell he was having way too much fun in that movie, playing the character he was born to play. And what's her name? Millie Alcock, the girl who played Supergirl. She did a really good job, she did a really good job trying to, showing somebody with some trauma just trying to self-destruct. The emotional beats, a lot of people have complained that they felt like a lot of the emotional beats were unearned. I have a different view of it. 90 to 100s here? Yeah, no, we don't do that here in Montana. We get the 90s and 100s in August and September. Sometimes you get it in July. But for the most part, you're looking 70s and 80s during this time of the year. But yeah, back to before I lose my train of thought, which I do a lot. I thought that the emotional beats kind of played out how somebody that's going through something like that is going to. I know myself. I learned this learned this all about myself again a couple weeks ago. Or no, that was last weekend. Not this weekend, but the weekend before. I was over in Spokane for my buddy Sean's wedding. Wore kilts and everything like that. But, when I go into a situation like that, number one, I don't like crowds. I'm pretty good at covering it up. My distaste for large groups of people being together. If I'm around friends, it's a little different. But when you're going to I'm going to a friend's wedding, and I think I knew maybe 5 people at the whole thing. You get to see a completely different side of me where I get very much keep myself in control. I don't show a lot of enthusiasm for a lot of things. If I go into a circumstance where I don't really know anybody, you're not going to get me dancing. You're not going to get me singing. They were doing karaoke and everybody was dancing, having a good old time. You're never going to be able to get that out of me in that sort of a situation. I'm more controlled. Like, I'm always looking at where people are, what's going on. Is there anything I can do to help out around it? Does it look like someone's getting themselves into a situation that they're not going to be able to get themselves out of, or is the situation going to turn terribly for them? I'm always watching for that sort of thing when I'm in that sort of a situation. Almost like I don't want to call it babysitter, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm not trying to babysit people. I'm just watching for where situations could turn bad. Situational awareness, that military thing. Who's that saying hi to me? Early April Adam. What's happening? Oh, it's Adam. What's up, Pat? What's up, Pillow Cheeks? How you doing, brother, man? Yeah, I'm just out walking, brother. Talking about Adam would be the first person to sing at a karaoke gig. A gig where you're running karaoke and people are dancing and getting drunk and that sort of thing. That's not what I do. I just kind of watch. I just kind of step back and watch. And I had a couple of people comment on that, like, dude, you don't look like you're having fun, or I kind of you're kind of keeping an eye on everybody, and I don't think I was creeping anybody out, because I just kind of move through the crowd, and I'm always watching, and I'm always looking for when situations get bad. And luckily, Sean's friends, none of that was. I had a feeling that none of that was going to happen, but I can't help myself. So it's a lot different. If there had been more people that I knew well, like the only person I really knew well at the wedding was Sean, quite honestly, and I was his best man, because we've been friends for 20 years, and I'd met a few of the other people. No big situations, nothing where I was getting friendly. They probably ran into me in the same mode that I was in, where I'm just kind of paying attention. Anyway, enough of that. But so the Supergirl movie, back onto this train of thought. See, I can get myself back on track eventually. It takes a while, but yeah, so back onto the Supergirl thing. They said that, the emotional beats really weren't there. And the type of character that Millie Alcock was playing, I mean, she's lost everything. She's lost everybody. And put in a situation where she has to, she just kind of wants to drown the sorrows, not have to feel like shit anymore. And I've been there. I did a lot of years of drinking after I got out of the Army, where I was just pounding everything back. And if you interacted with me, that might be the type of person you got, where everything was just flat, where I just didn't want to feel anything, because I'd lost everything that I'd known for 9 years. I was living in the building with all my friends. I was working with my friends. I was going out drinking with my friends almost every night. I had it was just, you're forced into these really tight social situations. And everywhere I went, I always had my friends. And so I get out of the Army, and I'm in a situation where I'm by myself for the first time in a long time, where where I don't have, basically a social parachute at every turn. And I still have friends in the area that I moved to, but it's the Army. These are Army folks, and these guys are moving away. And I learned pretty early on, you really don't make friends with people at work, because you never know how that's going to turn on you. That's just one of those things. These guys could. You think you know somebody, you think you can trust them, and next thing you know, they're dropping dimes on you to somebody, and you're like, dude, what the fuck's up with that? Like, oh, we can be friends outside of work, but it's like, well, I thought we were friends at work and outside of work. No, they just kick you under a bus at work. So, at work people get a kind of a really separate version of what I am. They get the situational awareness guy all the time. I have an audiologist I work with. We joke back and forth. I don't think she'd consider us friends. I like her quite a bit. I think we would be friends outside of work if I would allow that sort of a relationship to happen. I never will, as long as we're working together. That's just how I am. I've been burned one too many times. What's church saying? Had enough of them. I don't blame you, church. Yeah. So that's kind of where I saw this character at this point in her life. She's stranger in a strange land. She comes to Earth after Krypton gets destroyed, and Clark has a family. He landed when he was young, so he's got all these people. She doesn't have anybody but Krypto, and you see through the course of the movie that she's starting to realize, maybe I haven't given these people a chance. Maybe I haven't listened to Clark at all. Swap sides here, everybody. You get to look up my nose again. I know how much you guys love that. So basically she's at this point in her life where, maybe it's time to start making better decisions. But she's not healed from the things that she went through. I won't spoil how her DC movie origin goes, but it's different than what is traditionally known for Supergirl. It's still a very good origin. It's still a very good origin story they tell for, and it completely explains why she is the way she is. People think, oh, she's just a party girl, she's sad, but she's just a party girl. That's not what this character is. She's fucked up. If you watch Supergirl, go in expecting the girl, she's fucked up in her head. So I got kind of a different perspective out of it. Somebody that's been dealing with sobriety for as long as I have. The things you do to protect yourself. And, you sit there and you look back at somebody who, she clearly wants to self-destruct, but because of her superpowers, she has to go to a red sun, and even then she's not completely gone, power-wise. She's still got some of her powers under the red sun, and she can't. She wants to self-destruct. She wants to burn herself to the ground and not have to deal with the things that she feels anymore. And you get that. I think I need to move you guys again because I think the wind's blowing right on you. Are you guys hearing me at all? Yeah, Adam. Yeah, I think it's worth watching. I think you just have to go into it with the right headset, and you saw a little bit of what she's like during the movie, or during the new Superman. You caught a little bit of what she's like, but that's not. This you get a little bit more emotional perspective on why she's acting the way that she is, and it's because she doesn't want to be there. She doesn't want to be on Earth. She would rather just be gone. The only thing she can do to numb herself is go to red sun planets and go party, and that's how she fuels her numbness. So that's kind of my take on Supergirl. I thought it was a better movie than a lot of people did. I think it's totally worth seeing. I mean, don't go in expecting, Superman. It's not nearly as funny. It's about watching someone who's in a lot of fucking pain try and numb herself and then have to start dealing with it. And she really does not want to be there. Like she quite frankly, she wishes she was dead. She wishes that she had died with her family. So, I get it. Like I tried to self-destruct for a lot of years. A lot of years. What's up, Mowgli? Yeah, she is a very good young actress. Tim Minchin's fucking hilarious. I think was she the one? No, that was Tasman something. I think Millie Alcock was supposed to be in Game of Thrones originally, the original series, but something didn't work out. And so when House of Dragons came up, they brought her in. She's a really funny actress. And in Supergirl, I mean, the way she played that sort of a character, somebody in the casting department has dealt with this and was able to give her really good acting advice as far as being someone puts on a brave front, but there's that just a lot of buried pain. Millie Alcock did a really good job with that. Like I said, Jason Momoa was also outstanding. But like I said, he's playing the character he was always meant to play. Yeah, Church. So you know where I'm coming from, man. When I finally started coming out of that spiral, it was very painful. But I also, you're still very numb for a lot of it. You've learned to numb yourself over the years, learned not to have any emotions at all. So, when you come out of that spiral, it's pretty painful having to deal with the things that you do. And I'm assuming that's what we'll see in like future. I just got hit with a raindrop on the head. Good times. Yeah, that's shaping up to get nasty. That storm's stretching to the horizon. Yeah, I'll probably get rained on here in a little bit. Yeah, so I'm assuming that's where her character will go in the future movies in the franchise, is that she will start having to deal with things, and it'll be pretty painful. Be pretty painful to watch. They'll probably write it for comedy, I'm assuming, a bit. But yeah, probably the best like action scene of that movie is when she finally just fucking lets loose, because you can tell she's just been holding everything in, and doesn't really, she's not going to let herself get totally involved she's not going to fully unleash what she's capable of for people she doesn't know or care about. So when she finally does it towards the end, you're just like, Jesus, where's that been the whole movie? Well, if you think about the character and the choices that she's making throughout the movie, it makes total sense why she finally unleashes and gets quite frankly terrifying. But yeah, good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. I didn't think it was nearly as good as Superman. Superman was an exceptional film. Anybody who hasn't seen the new Superman movie, that was an absolutely exceptional film. Yeah, he's playing Jason Momoa in the new Supergirl movie. Playing Lobo. Like what the fuck were you thinking casting that dude as Aquaman? Dude should have been Lobo from the start. Like he was playing the Justice League movie. He's like riding around yelling, having a good time, and spearing dudes down. He's playing Lobo. He's playing Aquaman. No, he should have always been Lobo. I get it though, Aquaman's a tentpole dude for the DC universe. You're trying to. What was the other thing I put in the title? Oh, the Taurus TX22 Toro. So I went out to basically it's like a demo day. You go out and you're able to shoot all the guns that the store here in our area, Murdoch's. They're all over the place too. It's not just here, but they have a demo day and you can go out and shoot all the guns that they carry. And I'd shot in the Taurus TX22. I've shot it a couple times. Good enough gun. Everybody says it's super reliable. It's comfy in the hand. Almost no jump, but I mean you don't really expect any jump from a 22. So I finally got to shoot the new one. I think it had come out last year, and for some reason I missed the demo day last year. Most of the time I'll just go to it. You guys know me. Despite my more liberal swangs, I am a gun guy. I think you can thank the armed forces for that. Wasn't much of a gun guy when I was a kid. I would shoot something if it was around, but I probably got traumatized because I remember one of my mom's boyfriends before she met my stepdad. We went up to his place and we were shooting it was a 12 gauge shotgun. I think I probably weighed 40 pounds at the time, and shot a 12 gauge shotgun and got knocked on my ass. I remember that. I remember getting scolded for going near my uncle's hunting rifle. So, I would shoot something if it was around, but it wasn't a big part of my life. Obviously, when I went in the military, that changed. I'd always been a pretty good shot, though. I was an excellent shot when I was in the service, but I was a combat medic, so that was not my main prerogative. I think I only got really serious shooting once when I was in the service, as far as doing like range qualifications. And yeah, somebody had said something. One of my bosses had said something, and I was like, well, you know what? Fuck you. I'll show you what I can do. And I went out and I shot 38 out of 40 shots, and took it back to my NCO, and he said he didn't believe me. I was like, well, fuck you then. Like, you're the one saying something. They said something about me, like Montana boys should be able to shoot. I don't think I'd ever bothered to be serious about it. And I finally got serious about it and showed him. I was like, dude, I can shoot. Asshole. Yeah, the melted gold scene. Yeah, and Game of Thrones. Yeah. Yeah, so I went out to this demo day. I was hitting everything. I picked up the new Taurus TX22 Toro, which is the newest. It's the Gen 2 upgraded version of what they. But they had a suppressor and green dot. You know, they had all the bells and whistles on it. Went out firing it and having a good old time. I think I hit every shot that I threw down range with that thing, no matter what I was aiming at. So I was super impressed with this new Taurus TX22 Toro. Went out and grabbed it. The version I bought from Murdoch's came with a red dot, or it's a green dot, but it comes with the green dot. See, this is why I normally shift you guys over that way, so you have a little something to look at. Because all we're doing is walk along a fence back into my neighborhood here. Anyway, had a good old time with it, and I went and bought it. Yeah, so the version I got came with a green dot, 2 22 round magazines. I mean, that's just going out and having some fun at the range type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, give you guys a big thumbs up on the new Taurus TX22 Toro. So basically the Gen 2 version of it. I think they came out with a TX9, so I need to go check that out too, of course. Taurus, every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. But their guns are cheap. The newer generations of stuff is super reliable. Doesn't always shoot the straightest, but for my personal use, you know, shooting someone from 5-10 feet away if they break into my house, I mean, I don't need to shoot straight at, 30 yards or 90 yards. I just need it to hit what's in front of me. So, very cool gun. Very cool gun. So if anybody's looking for a little plinker, I can highly recommend that Taurus TX22. It's a good time. Had a real good time with it. I think we'll head in a little early tonight, folks, because that's starting to look downright violent out there. I only got hit on the head a little bit with some raindrops, but that's about to change pretty nastily. So, what else has everybody else been up to? Everybody, what have you guys been up to? Besides, I'm trying to think what else I've been up to since that wedding. Good. So it was a beautiful wedding. Beautiful wedding, great reception. Good folks. They were really good folks. By the end of the evening, I was feeling a little more comfortable. But, like I said, still always on guard with that sort of stuff. Social situations, I just don't trust people. I don't trust anybody as far as I can throw them. Especially when I first meet them. Nobody's up to anything? Got 7 people watching. Yeah. Somebody has to have been up to something that we could talk about. Although, like I said, I'm wandering in here. Yeah. Wandering in, I'll be heading into the house here in a minute. So. Did I miss saying hi to anybody? I don't think I did. Nice little Berettas. Nice little guns. What's Adam up to? All right. Well, hopefully they treat you a little better. I know Socorro treated you well, but I mean, money's money, right, Adam? Sometimes you get to that point. And I'm one of those people, I believe I can put up with anything for a couple of years if I know there's something on the other side of it. So maybe looking at something on the other side of it. I don't know. I always try and put a good spin on everything. as best I can. And I know you liked a few of the people you worked with. Sakura. There was somebody else you liked, right? There was somebody else there you liked. Okay. Well, you know, as long as she's cool and doesn't treat you like garbage like the last time you were there. They're like, Adam will work that shift. Yeah, we'll just have him fucking stocking and unloading boxes for 12 hours. Hopefully they have more people helping you chip in on box day or on truck days, because I think the tree gets. I know around here, Dollar Tree and all the bargain shops. I mean, around here they get stuff every day. It's not just once a day; it's every day. So we're always told, like, if something isn't there that day, just come back tomorrow. Might be there. Might get something in on the truck that day. It's like, oh, I remember my buddy Adam telling horror stories about truck day. I feel bad for every single person that works here. But I mean, they paid you well. Are they still paying well, Adam? Are they still paying as well as they did before? Remember, they were paying crazy good. Nice, Mowgli. Congratulations, man. Dropping 40 pounds. I think I've dropped probably about 10 pounds since. When did I start doing all that trail? There was a trail that I really enjoyed walking on, so I would go do it almost every day. I've taken you guys on that before. You saw the videos. Now I've got a different route. I actually walk up through the cemeteries. There's more hills and makes me work a little harder. So I think I probably dropped about 10 pounds since then. I'm home. Yeah, I'm calling that one early. Just because I think that, I think it's about to get gross out there. Oh, there's a cat toy. Flip the lights on in here. Hi, Pop Pop. Yes, I'm home. Who else is in here? Aha. There you guys go. Let's see, give you a good look at the Bouger Man. That's the Bouger Man. Giant ass cat. So anybody that shake my hand before, this is my hand for size comparison on this guy. And where's Poppy? Poppy's hiding back there. Pop Pop. There she is. So now you can get a little bit of a size comparison between the two, because Poppy's a big ass cat. Pop Pop. There you go. Poppy's a big ass cat. And Mimi's a little itsy bitsy cat. Anyway. 4 inches. Yeah, nice. 4 inches. Yeah, none of my belt loops fit me anymore. I'm gonna have to drill some holes. You guys don't need more treats. I gave you treats before I left. Liars saying that they've been abandoned. That's true, Adam. They are very good cats. he can be a little bit of a dickhead to Mamie. And he's in love with his mom, and he hangs out with Jax all the time. I believe in you, Mowgli. That sounds like you'd be able to do it. You know, I could. You know, really, all you need to do to get yourself in some sort of shape is just start walking. You know, just set a time and you just increase your distance, and rather than. I don't really have anything good here. There's the old couch. There's the old couch right there. It's a big ass couch. Not when they're lying to you, Church. They're lying to me at this point, those kitties. Tell me I didn't give them any treats before I went. That was 30 minutes ago. I remember 30 minutes ago, doggone it. And they all took off, all abandoned me, except for Bougere. Here he goes. He's gonna walk. He's gonna. Like I said, Poppy's a big ass cat. He's a giant cat. Maymay's still in here? If Maymay comes out, then you guys can have treats. How's that? Better go get Maymay. Better tell her to come hang out. Anyway, folks, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to get ready for bed. It's 10 o'clock. There she is. Of course, I mentioned treats, and deaf-ass Maymay shows up. Can't hear any other words in the world except for treat. So get the... There you go. Mimi. There you go. Pretty Poppy girl. Papa. Say hi to the interwebs, Poppy. Come here, have your treats in your spot. Guess Booger doesn't want them. Nope, he's playing with toys. He doesn't want no treats. Yeah, that would do it, Mowgli. Yeah, emphysema is no joke, but it's just it's one of those things, you can improve. You're never going to be what you were and what your full potential was, but you can overcome a lot of it. Just get to, yep, just vaping and a little determination will make a huge difference. So, anyway, folks, yeah, like I said, I think I'm gonna duck off here. It's 10 o'clock. Time for me to wind down, go to bed. But nice chatting with you guys, the folks that showed up. Love you, everybody. Be good out there. Let's see. Nice, Mowgli. 30 miles. Hell yeah, man. Yep. But you guys be good. See you later, Church. See you later, Adam. Love you guys. Everybody be good. Educate, advocate, be good to each other. And get off your butts and babe. That's for Giz. Later.